Hi, just recently I was contacted by Deity and sent this. I'm absolutely delighted because this is the Deity Duo D4 and I've been using it now for 2 weeks and it has proved itself to be such a fantastic microphone, or should I say microphones, because actually there are two. There's a front facing one, there's a rear facing one, a yellow cable, which is great because it differentiates it from everything else in my bag, which is fantastic. It's even got a lavalier or microphone input here, and you can switch between the front capsule or the back capsule. And when you use the back capsule, both are working, so you can choose either the front or the back if you want. They give you two nice little dead cats, which are really, really nice. They're not too large and don't poke into the picture. This is one that's made by Rode for the Video Micro, and you can see that the front side is just about the same, just maybe a little bit less large. It's a bit smaller. But the only thing is, I did want to try this one on the front just to see if it worked, and it works absolutely fine. The only thing is that this bottom edge is quite close to the mount, so if you want to use something like a Rode, which is quite substantial, you'd have to lift the microphone, especially as the weight of that is actually making the mount slightly lean forward. But generally, I have found this to be a fantastic microphone. It is really, really lovely. Sounds superb from the back. You can speak from the back of your camera without turning the microphone round, just with a flick of a switch like that, and you're done on the top. And when you want the front, you can switch to the front, and that's it, off you go. So let's see what this thing sounds like when you're out and about vlogging. For all intents and purposes, most people would use this kind of microphone for vlogging, and I'm going to just walk down there by the road and see how it rejects cars and picks me up, etc. One thing that vloggers would find themselves doing a lot is going out into a noisy environment, and that's always very difficult for a microphone. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a walk by the road and I'm just using the front microphone. Now what I've done is I'm talking through the back of the microphone while the cars are going by, and hopefully without me having to raise my voice, you're still picking me up fairly well. Now this again is a useful thing because I'm now behind the camera and able to speak, and hopefully the microphone is doing a fairly good job of rejecting noise from the front, and that way you get the best audio for your vocals while still hopefully keeping the noise of the surrounding traffic down. So there are three things that a vlogger needs to do when they're filming outside anyway. Is first of all, you need a camera that's pretty stable. Secondly, you need a microphone that rejects noise and rejects wind as well, because you really are working in quite extreme conditions. This is the sound of the microphone in a more normal environment. I'm not by the road and I'm in the park here, and it's a bit quieter. Traffic is in the background but not very loud, so this is more likely what you're going to get from this microphone out in the open. Now 1 second later, it's that fast, I've switched to the back microphone, and now I'm able to take a shot talking into the back while filming and hopefully getting nice, clear, clean audio. Personally, I think this is a fantastic vlogging mic. It really is designed well for the purpose. It's got low noise, it has a nice robust sound, and at the price it's selling at, it's roughly around about £90 for the microphone. Well, actually you're getting two microphones, and to be honest, I love the fact that I don't have to carry a lavalier around with me and pin it to me. But the other thing, of course, is I can actually put a lav straight into this thing. So if I can use either, if I switch it to the front, I can use the front capsule, or if I switch it to the back, it'll use the front capsule and the lavalier. But using it last week, I didn't really feel the need to use the lavalier. I found the microphone is close enough. In fact, it's possibly a little bit better because it's up higher and in line with my mouth. So I capture pretty good audio, I think, with the back capsule. It works very, very well. It's almost like having a microphone right at your mouth. So I think this is a tremendous microphone, really well designed, well built, and gives fantastic results. Now bear in mind that the next test is really very, very, very extreme. We went up on a ferris wheel and I took it up with me, and one thing I hadn't thought about was the amount of wind that you get at the top of a Ferris wheel on the coast. So this thing had to put up with an awful lot of wind, as well as pick up the rear and pick up the front. So in post I had a little bit of work to do, but I did my best. And as you will hear, sometimes it just clips in with the wind, but we have audio, and honestly that was really very extreme. So here's the shots that I took up on a Ferris wheel using this. God, it's windy.
I'm never doing this again.
Lucy, take a quick look down. It's cold up here, isn't it, actually? The wind's cold.
It is. I didn't think of that.
No.
Oh, we're going now.
There's the pavilion.
How can you not work it out?
Thing is, Luce, you have to face your fears.
I hate heights.
What if it just suddenly went downwards instead of round?
Stop it!
What if you straight down
It's
there?
a long way.
It's really scary.
Yeah, I know.
Look down there.
I know.
It's really scary.
It is. We were walking there last night. Looking straight down is horrible. It's really horrible. Actually, it really accentuates how far up we are.
That's real.
To give the microphone a fighting chance and get it away from the wind and the noise, I thought I'd better do a test with this thing indoors in the quiet, no wind thumping into it, because that test was pretty extreme, to say the least. That was a very, very extreme test for wind. At the top of a Ferris wheel was a bit ridiculous really for any microphone. And outside I was right by the road and cars were passing within 3 or 4 feet of me. So now we're in the peace and quiet. So this is the sound of the front capsule from the front capsule from the side, the front capsule from the rear, and I'm now back to the front again. As you can see, for this test, what I've done is I put a couple of foamies on rather than keep the two fluffies on, because just want to stop the plosives. And actually I've been using this with a road cover on the front and the foamy on the back. That way I find it resists wind a little bit better. The road, although it's a more heavy dead cat, it does weigh down the front of the microphone just a little bit more. It's got a little bit more resistance to the wind sound and makes it way more usable in very high wind. But actually you can use it just as easily with two little foamies like this. I only leave the back one on to keep it protected from dust and all sorts of things going into the capsule in the back. So just to finish, this microphone is retailing now somewhere around 90 something pounds, and in fact it is actually 2 microphones, plus the fact that you can put a lavalier into the side of this for the rear mic. Instead of using that mic, you can use a lavalier. But for all intents and purposes, I've found that it's absolutely fine using that, because it's there when you're holding the camera. It's pretty close. So this works incredibly well. And I really do think it's worth it. In fact, I do think it's worth it over the Video Micro, if I'm honest. It's just a tiny bit bigger, but you've got that advantage of picking up the rear without messing around with your camera. I'm going to be giving the dead cat a little haircut, because occasionally little bits of fluff have been coming off because it's brand new. But in all honesty, I love this microphone and I'm going to use it a heck of a lot. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Cheers for now.